inspiring millions to follow their dreams.
I wanted to create a property which revolves around art and travel because nobody was exploring that.
He's a youth icon for all artists.
This is also new and very exciting, and I should explore this.
NewsX influencer A-list proudly recognizes Rob for influence in fine arts. Hello and welcome. You're joining us on NewsX Influencer A-List. I'm Paradip Bhanot, and with us today is indeed a very, very special guest. Now, a lot of us know him as somebody who we saw on television growing up. He has taught us a lot of what we know when it comes to art, when it comes to crafts. We have Rob with us on the show today. And firstly, Rob, thank you so much for being with us on NewsX Influencer A-List. And we're so, so glad that you could be here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here. And yeah, how have you been? How are you doing?
Good, great. We want to know from you where you have been, Rob. So we saw Rob for years doing Mad. And then, like I was just telling you, there was a vacuum that has been very hard to fill for any other creator, at least for my generation. Tell us, Rob, what has your journey been like? You did Mad, we all know that. What was it like after that? Where have you been in the past couple of years?
I've been here. I've been around. I've been doing a lot of art, a lot of creative stuff. Yes, after Mad ended, I actually wanted to explore something new because I did Mad for almost a decade. So as an artist, I think it's very important to explore new things. That's how you grow and improve. And I wanted to use everything that I had sort of learned over the years creating content for television and apply it elsewhere. I also wanted to get into like travel space. I wanted to create a property which revolves around art and travel because nobody was exploring that. So almost after I left Pogo, almost for a year or so, I was exploring that space. And around that time only, I chanced upon YouTube and how the whole YouTube platform works, how digital platform works. So I was like, okay, this is also new and very exciting, and I should explore this. And I started a YouTube channel. I started making content for YouTube. So now I have two YouTube channels. I have a great art community. We have a nice big following, a nice big family. I was also doing a lot of installation work because I was known for my big pictures that I used to make on the show. Where I used to take
towards the end. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was everyone's favorite segment, including mine, because rest of the show I was teaching stuff, but in this segment I could show off a little bit what all I could create and make. So a lot of people wanted to have that in a live setting. So I started doing that. I started making these big art installations for music festivals, for events, for brands. And I realized that was only for like a limited audience, like anyone who is attending a festival or is part of an event could come and witness that because these were just massive art installations. And it's a very different experience when you look at art, which is larger than life.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not create a show around it? And I created India's first live art show, live travel art show, because we moved from cities. It's almost like how you have Broadway musicals. So we had like a stage show, but it was a visual spectacle. So I would make all these big art and installations and things like that on stage. But also had like a little bit of a social message, a story. It also had like a workshop model during the show. I would encourage people. Everyone got kits to be more creative and make stuff with me. It was just a fun show. I wanted to move people away from the screens and experience this live. So we did that within a couple of shows in Bangalore, Chennai. I did another show called Imagine That on Disney, which was very recent. So I went back to TV. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been around. It's just that a lot of people moved away from Pogo and got busy with their lives and didn't check on me, what I'm up to.
Now we have to ask you, Rob. You've been in the television space, right? You know how that operates fully. But now you're also in the digital space, right? Because you make a lot of content from where we see it for Instagram also. So help us understand, what are the two mediums like, and from where you see it, is it more advantageous to be on, let's say, the digital medium today?
Well, I mean, they're completely different, like how film and TV is different, same way TV and digital is different. I mean, the way you design content for both is different. The way people consume content on both these platforms is very different. Like TV was
Yeah.
appointment sort of viewing, a 7 o'clock film or a 9 o'clock show. But digital is not like that. It's at your own convenience. Like whenever people have time, they sit and watch. And with TV, it was because there's so much content on a particular channel and everything is scheduled. But in a digital sort of space, on each channel or platform, people can decide what they want to watch at what time they want to watch. And because it's available at their sort of, at their own convenience,
Mm.
there is a lot more content. So as a creator, you also have to make a lot more content. It
Mm.
can't be like in TV, it used to be like a 13 episode season, and then we were done. We would give it to the marketing team, and they would launch the show. But in the digital space, you have to create the content, you have to market it, you have to schedule it, you have to put it out,
So
read
it's a
the
lot more
comments.
hands-on. It's like running your own startup, doing everything yourself
Absolutely.
from start
But
to finish.
also, you have to keep in mind, the trends going on. You have
Mm.
to be spontaneous, and you have to create content in bulk, because it's not like someone will come to your channel and be like, okay, I saw one video and now next video will come next Sunday. It's not like that.
Yeah.
If someone has time, they'll be like, okay, let me see what else is there, and they will want to watch. So you have to make like 2 videos or 3 videos a week.
Yeah.
So it's different, but digital definitely has its own advantages because you can really connect with your audience. There's a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
You can change. You'll have a lot of creative freedom. You can change your format. With TV, when I was working, we couldn't tweak the format at all. So
Mm.
if we wanted to change something and we thought this isn't working, we would had to give, send an email or whatever, or a notice to the broadcaster or the channel and tell them that this is what we want to do and we get permission. But your channel, you control yourself, so you
Mm.
can change things, try out new things,
Yeah.
explore new stuff. So it has a lot of advantages also.
Okay, so Rob, now this might be a little sensitive, but I have to ask you this because a lot of us out there want to know, and we're just curious to know, why did Mad, kind of stop? Because it was so brilliant. We were enjoying it so much. At least my generation, I personally loved the show. We want to know why it ended. We want to know why Mad with Rob ended.
Yeah, it was an amazing show, and I was also having a lot of fun. But like I said, I worked with them for over a decade, and like I just mentioned that television works very differently. You shoot seasons. So a match season used to be about 13 episodes. Then we used to shoot specials, which were about 6 to 8 episodes. So every few months we would shoot like a whole bunch of episodes.
Mm.
And over time, seasons after season, they had like a big bank of these episodes, like a library. And how channels work is they also repeat a lot of content, so there are a lot of reruns. And that was happening over time. And, in kids space, the best thing is that every year they get a new set of audience, like,
Yeah.
the kids grow and they move to other channels and the younger ones then shift to this. So if you're putting out the same content also for them, they won't even realize that, it's
Yeah.
old content. And the way I used to design my content, even if you look at Mad right now, it doesn't seem dated.
Mm.
So that was a big sort of advantage, the channel had with the show. So
Yeah.
we used to do a lot of recycling. And over time, we were also doing things like shoot like 50% of new content and then 50% of the old content and mix match
Mm.
and put it out there. And that model was working for them, but not so much for me because as an artist, I wanted to create more.
You are
But
a creative.
I also understand how television channels work. So over time, we realized, like mutually agreed that I guess it's time to move on and part ways. And I left the channel, and they continued. even now, Mad is still running, but all the old content.
Content creators such as yourself are concerned, you're one of the front runners, right? You've kind of set the ball rolling for a lot of other content creators. What do you think artists such as yourself require? You know, what kind of an ally, let's say, are you looking for? Not just in the digital space, but also in the let's say television space or in the newspaper space. What do you think content creators today need?
Both for television and digital.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, first of all, I'll say, like, even earlier when you asked, I think what has happened is over the years, because of all these platforms that are out there, creating content has become very easy. All these platforms, they have a very simple interface. They provide very basic but good tools that anyone can use and create content. So it's become very easy for creators to create content. But what happens over time is, because it's so easy, people get used to, or at least think that it will be the same throughout. Like, they also imitate other people and somewhat become successful. But they should understand that this success is not going to last unless you work on your skill sets. So I feel that more than what is available, I think every creator and artist should work on themselves, whether it's writing their own scripts or developing their own content to, their art and things like that. Because otherwise it's become easy. You can shoot on your phone, basic lights. You don't need a studio setup or broadcaster. You can start your own page or channel. All that is easy. I think people need to work on the skill sets, which is more important. So because even if there is no platform, at least you can go anywhere else, survive, and keep following your passion or creating content.
All right.
I don't know if that I answered your question correctly.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Absolutely. I get what you're saying. All right. So then before we let you go, Rob, I have one last question for you. And this is more of a tip that we want from you. For somebody that, wants to pursue art. And, like we were talking earlier, you said that a lot of us at a younger age love doing art and love playing with colors, but we don't necessarily follow our passion, right? We don't follow that creativity, that creative drive. For somebody who's watching this right now, and wants to do what you did, wants to be Rob, what do you suggest they should do?
If you want to be more creative, just follow me everywhere. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube. No, but I often say this, and I say this a lot, that, it's important to be creative, because being creative doesn't hurt anyone. I mean, creative people are better at problem solving, so it's important, and creativity helps. What you can do is, people ask me, how can I become a better artist? How can I be more creative? It's just like any other thing, spend a little more time understanding art, invest time in learning. For me, even today, I try and understand and learn new mediums. Like now, I'm investing so much time in understanding how Instagram reels work. And I'm making like these, because for me, if you try and see, I studied film, so we wanted to make 1 hour films, to making half an hour content on a TV, to moving to YouTube where their content is like 10 minutes, to Instagram, which is 1 minute, and now Reels is like 15 seconds. So your whole format of storytelling changes, but you have to adapt to the times, so you have to constantly keep learning. So invest your time, whatever you like. If you like certain creators, watch their content, watch good content, whether it's films, read books. If you watch or read quality content, automatically it starts showing or reflecting in your work. It's like, to appreciate good food, you need to have good food, or to make good food, you need to enjoy good food. Or same for music. And for artists who want to draw and do creative stuff, just try and do something small every day. Even if it's, I say this, even if it's painting a sunset, when you click a picture, it doesn't do justice, because it's just capturing a moment, but you're not observing it. My mantra is observe and absorb. So the more you see, art is around you, creativity is around you, inspiration is around you. Just open your eyes and observe and keep absorbing it. This is your library. And whenever you need ideas, you can just walk into any aisle and pick up the book you like, the idea you like, and you can apply it. So invest your time in observing and absorbing.
All right, that is great advice. Thank you so much, Rob, for being with us on NewsX Influencer A-List. It has been an absolute pleasure having you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.